Good morning, everyone out there in YouTube land. I am Stephen from Deleted Scenes, and I want to welcome you to a special episode of Saturday Serial. As fans of the channel will know, Matt is currently traveling across the pond here to America. So Matt, if you're listening and you've landed by now, welcome to America, brother. Enjoy your stay. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, the twin flames are together. And hopefully we will hear a progress report very, very soon. So, let's get started. We have in the chat, it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs. Thank you very much for being here, Courtney. Those of you who are fans of the channel, you'll know Courtney. She's a good friend of the channel, and she also has a YouTube channel of her own. So please go over and Courtney, go ahead and put your link in the stream, or anybody's link in the stream if there are any channels that you want to plug. All right. Now, those of you who are either listening in now or on the replay who are new, we're an entertainment show. We like to keep it light. Like to keep it fun. This is my my master plan to take over the internet one channel at a time. So let me know how that's going. And also, if you read the message above, if there are any audio issues, please let me know. Let me see. Can't link because you're not modded. Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, and you can hear me. Okay, that's outstanding. That's good. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with the show. We're going to share the screen. The Microsoft tab. All right, so this is our weekly catch-up segment. Thanks to Greg Dean Smits of Rotten Tomatoes. And here's the headline. Adam Driver to star in Michael Mann's Ferrari. And more movie news. Bob Marley and Michael Jackson both get biopics. Jack and Daxter gets an adaptation. The Smurfs announced 4 new movies. New roles for Zendaya, Russell Crowe, and Liam Neeson. All right, and I want to thank the lovely Sherry for joining us today. All right, well, let's read this off. First story. This week's catch-up brings you more headlines from the world of film development news, covering new titles such as Jack and Daxter, Kraven the Hunter, and the Smurfs. And this is this week's top story. Adam Driver to star in Michael Mann's Ferrari. One of the perhaps most understandably confusing things about the 2019 racing drama Ford v Ferrari, certified fresh at 92%, was that early on, the title led many writers and fans to presume that actors like Christian Bale and Matt Damon would be playing characters named Ford or Ferrari. Italian automotive company founder Enzo Ferrari does have a small role in that film, mostly glowering from the stands, played by veteran Italian actor Remo Girone. I hope I got that name right. But fans wanting a full Enzo Ferrari story are now a little closer to getting exactly that. Fresh off not one, but two 2021 historical dramas directed by Ridley Scott, The Last Duel and House of Gucci, Adam Driver is now attached to star in Michael Mann's long-in-development biopic Ferrari as Enzo Ferrari. Penelope Cruz, who just earned an Oscar nod for her work in Pedro Almodovar's Parallel Mothers, certified fresh at 97%, and Shailene Woodley have also signed on as Enzo's wife Laura and his mistress Helena Lardi, respectively. Driver is also replacing Hugh Jackman, who had been announced for the title role in June of 2020. When it finally does start filming, Ferrari will end a directing drought for Michael Mann, Heat and the Insider, whose last film as director was Black Hat 7 years ago in 2015, certified rotten at 32%. Well, no, Black Hat did not get very good reviews. I thought it was entertaining personally. All right, so do we have any Adam Driver or Michael Mann fans in the chat? Because I gotta tell you, I am a huge fan of Michael Mann since the 80s. His earlier movies like Thief. Whenever he does a movie, regardless of what the ultimate final product is, yeah, I always look forward to a movie. He's never boring. Okay, other top headlines. Video game trend continues with Jax and Daxter. We have Brutal Morningwood in the chat. Thank you very much for coming. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, we also have It's Courtney and the lovely Sherry in the chat. I'm pretty sure that Sherry and Courtney are both stalking me, in which case, if they are, I count myself lucky. All right, we're going to move on to Jax and Daxter. Everything is cyclical in Hollywood, and as new trends take off, old favorites are revived every 10 or so years. Superhero movies, for example, have gone from being a once-a-decade fluke. There were 12 years between the first color Batman in 1966 and Superman the movie in 1978, to there being almost one a month in 2022. Yeah, I'd say that's a bit of a glut. Then there's the video game adaptation. That shaggy dog field that didn't even have a single fresh tomato meter score until Pokemon Detective Pikachu, fresh at 68% in 2019. Hollywood is newly invested in video game movies, with 2022 alone giving us Uncharted, which is set to release next Friday. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 coming April 8th, and Super Mario Brothers the movie, which will be released around Christmas time, and possibly Borderlands, a release date yet to be announced. The latest popular video game property to make the platforming jump to the big screen is the science fiction buddy action franchise Jak and Daxter, which made the news in something of a 1-2 punch on consecutive days. It started on Tuesday when Tom Holland, out promoting Uncharted, currently rotten at 41%. Well, let's hope that score goes up. Quipped, I would like to make a Jack and Daxter movie, and I would play Jack. I would make it at A24, so it was like really weird and dark. Holland may or may not have known more than he let on, because on Wednesday, Uncharted director Ruben Fleischer, who also directed Venom, rotten at 30%. I thought it was entertaining. And Zombieland, certified fresh at 89%, is confirmed that he is indeed actively developing a Jack and Daxter movie. No other details, such as whether it would be live action or animated, are known yet. As for Tom Holland's A24 idea, the indie home of horror films like Midsommar and The Witch, well, Jack and Daxter is a Sony exclusive franchise, so it's unlikely that the film will be produced by another studio. Okay, so if we have any video game fans out there, what do you think of a Jack and Daxter movie possibly starring Tom Holland? I'm not familiar with the game, so I can't really comment on it. I hope Uncharted is good. I'm hearing mixed things about the movie. Yeah, all right. We'll say hello to everyone in the chat here. Sup, Brutal from Courtney. Hi. I might be later. Who knows? Kidding. Yeah. Oh no. Brutal Morning Wood. Sorry. Don't mind me just making my rounds. Well, we're glad you stopped by, Brutal Morningwood. It's always good to see you in the chats. The new Pokemon game looks so cool. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that people are enjoying it. You don't know the game. No, neither do I. But, you know, I'm starting to get up there in years now. And so the newer games kind of fly by me. All right, we are going to move on to our next story. Russell Crowe will be joining Aaron Taylor Johnson in the Kraven the Hunter movie. As the various cinematic universes, superhero and otherwise, grow larger, it has become increasingly common for actors to double dip, so to speak. The most famous and one of the earliest examples of this was when Chris Evans went from playing Marvel's Human Torch in the first two Fantastic Four movies, Marvel properties brought to the big screen by Fox, and playing the MCU's Captain America, Russell Crowe, who attempted to help kickstart Universal's Dark Universe when he co-starred in 2017's The Mummy, has a supporting role in this year's Thor: Love and Thunder, coming 7/8/22. And he's now joining a completely different movie based on Marvel Comics characters. Crowe is the second cast member to join Sony's Kraven the Hunter, based on the long-running Spider-Man villain since 1964. In another example of double dipping, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Quicksilver in Avengers Age of Ultron, certified fresh at 76%, has been on board for a while to star as Kraven the Hunter. The nature of Russell Crowe's role hasn't been disclosed yet, but much of the cast will reportedly be members of Kraven's family. So it might be the case with Crowe. As his name suggests, Kraven the Hunter considers himself the world's greatest hunter. And in the comics, Spider-Man is often the target of his hunt, even if that may not be the case in this first film. Sony Pictures has already scheduled Kraven the Hunter, which will be directed by J.C. Chandor from All Is Lost in the Most Violent Year, for release next year, January 13th, 2023. All right, so looks like Russell Crowe is going to be in Kraven the Hunter. Any thoughts on what character he might be playing? Now, I have to admit, as far as Kraven the Hunter is concerned, I'm not really familiar with the character or those other characters around him. The director is interesting. J.C. Chandor, he usually does character dramas. So to see him doing a superhero film, I don't know if it's going to be a good fit or not. It could be. Maybe he'll bring a different spin to it. And I'm looking forward to this movie, honestly. Aaron Taylor Johnson is not that scrawny kid that was in the Kick-Ass movies anymore. I mean, he's yoked. He looks the part of Kraven. I barely recognized him in Tenet. I didn't realize that was him when I first saw that movie. But yeah, we're getting another Sony Marvel co-production with the Kraven the Hunter film, and hopefully it'll be as good as the last one, Spider-Man No Way Home. Which, let's face it, Oscars, you kind of screwed the pooch not nominating it for Best Picture. But, enough about that. The Academy very rarely gets the nominations right, in my opinion. But I was glad to see Dune in there. Right, as I'm sure everybody knows by now, we did have the Oscar nominations come out on Tuesday. And there were a lot of snubs, in my opinion. Some movies that should have been in there that were not. Everyone who is in the chat, if there was a movie this year that you're happy to see got nominated or that you think might have gotten short shrifted, go ahead and let me know in the chat, because I'd certainly like to talk about it. All right. So in the meantime, we're going to move on to our next story. One Night in Miami star lands role in Bob Marley biopic. Thanks in part to the success of Freddie Mercury biopic Bohemian Rhapsody, fresh at 60%, with nearly $1 billion in global box office returns, the musical biopic has enjoyed something of a revival in the past few years. In addition to upcoming movies like Baz Luhrmann's Elvis coming June 24th, and the Whitney Houston biopic I Want to Dance with Somebody, which is due to come out around Christmas time, we also have films being developed for the Bee Gees, Cher, and Madonna. We can now add the list reggae superstar. We can now add to the list, very early. I have not been drinking. Let me do that again. Take two. We can now add to the list reggae superstar Bob Marley, whose life story rights have been sought after in Hollywood since at least the 1990s. The Paramount Pictures film doesn't have a title yet, but it does now have a star, as the role of Bob Marley has gone to Kingsley Ben-Adir, who starred in last year's One Night in Miami, certified fresh at 98%, as Malcolm X. The untitled Bob Marley biopic will be directed by Reynaldo Marcus Green, whose tennis biopic King Richard, certified fresh at 90%, is currently nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. The film's producers also include Bob's wife Rita Marley and 2 of his children, Ziggy Marley and Cedella Marley. It is expected that the film's soundtrack is cleared to include most, though possibly not all, of Bob Marley's biggest hits, including Buffalo Soldier, Get Up, Stand Up, Jammin', No Woman, No Cry, One Love and Redemption Song. All right, so Kingsley Ben-Adir starring as Bob Marley. All right, this is another one that looks like it's going to be pretty good. We've got to wait and see until they fill out the rest of the cast. But King Richard was very good. We have its director returning here, Ronaldo Marcus Green. So this one has this one could be Oscar caliber. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if it's going to be a straight up biopic that will take place over years, or if it's just going to take one segment of his life and focus on it. But yeah, so everybody in the chat, Kingsley Ben-Adir as Bob Marley. What do you think? We have the lovely Sherry. I love Bob Marley's music. Yeah, so do I. And hopefully we will. Hopefully, when they get the rights clear to the music, we will be able to hear all of it, and not just some of it. Okay, we're going to move on to our next story. Moving right along, Zendaya and The Crown star Josh O'Connor to be tennis challengers. Even before Call Me By Your Name, Certified Fresh 94%, came out in 2017 and was eventually nominated for 4 Academy Awards. Director Luca, I always mess this man's name up, so I am not going to attempt it here, was talking about his eventual plans for a sequel, possibly to be made in 2020, which obviously didn't happen. Okay, Courtney has to leave us. Well, okay, Courtney, thank you very much for stopping by. It's always great to see you in the chats. And have a great day. And catch us on the replay, please. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. All right. I don't know this actor to give an opinion. Well, I haven't seen One Night in Miami either, but I understand from people who have seen it that he was very good as Malcolm X, and possibly should have been Oscar nominated for it. He got snubbed. Doesn't surprise me. In Brutal Morning Wood. I'm not sure either. I don't know if I might have seen him. I don't know. So yeah, well, it looks like we're going to be seeing a lot more of Mr. Kingsley Ben-Adir. So let's keep our eye out for the Bob Marley biopic. All right, so we're moving on again to our next story. I'm going to pick up where we left off here. The delays in making that sequel apparently haven't slowed down the director of Call Me By Your Name, whose name I'm not going to attempt because I know I'm going to mess it up. Otherwise, as he's currently in post-production on a cannibalism drama called Bones and All. Okay, more cannibalism. Nice. Is already moving on to a romantic tennis drama for MGM called Challengers. The stars of Challengers will include Zendaya, whose roles in both Spider-Man No Way Home and Euphoria, and of course Dune. Josh O'Connor, who was Prince Charles in Netflix's The Crown. and Mike Feist, who played Riff in West Side Story. Zendaya will play a tennis player turned coach who has transformed her husband, played by Fight. In the chat, let me know. Into a famous world champion who finds himself having to compete in a challenger event at against a much lower ranked. Let me try that again. Who finds himself having to compete in a challenger event against a much lower ranked player who also happens to be his wife's ex-boyfriend. Challengers first came to notice as one of the screenplays featured on the 2021 blacklist of unproduced screenplays. Okay, so it looks like we've got love on the tennis court here. Interesting cast. Zendaya, Josh O'Connor, Mike Fast. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out on this, and also track down a list of the blacklist screenplays and see what might be coming out in the next couple of years. All right. Do we have any tennis fans in the chat? Anybody who has seen West Side Story or The Crown? Let me know what you think. We're going to scoot over to the chat. And the lovely Sherry saying hello to Bruda Morningwood. And once again, I would like to thank everyone in the chat for being here today. We're going to move on. Hold on. I don't care to see this movie. Zendaya may be 25, but she has the look of a teenager. It'll be hard to see her as a married woman. Yeah, I understand. I understand. She does have sort of a teenage. She does still look very much like a teenager. I have to admit, and that worked in Spider-Man, and I'm not sure if it'll work here. She was in a film I believe it was last year, called Malcolm and Marie with John David Washington, which had a lot of buzz surrounding it when it was first released, but then that kind of died off. And I'm wondering if maybe the reason for the drop-off was the fact that, the viewing public doesn't see Zendaya as an adult quite yet. And I'm wondering if Tom Holland is going to have the same problem with Uncharted, because there are people who say he's too young to be Nathan Drake, and I got to say I kind of agree with him there. I mean, maybe he'll grow into the part. I'm sure there'll be more movies if this one is successful, but the future's not set. I'm going to go back to the chat. Bruda Morningwood saying hello to Sherry. Just playing with my niece while I do my lurking around. Well, say hello to your niece for us, Bruda Morningwood. That's cute. Good to see you. All right, we're going to move on to headline number 5. Pop star Shawn Mendes to sing as Lyle Crocodile. We've known for a while that Sony Pictures was actively filming an adaptation of the 1965 children's book Lyle Crocodile, including the news of the cast featuring actors like Javier Bardem, currently Academy Award nominated for being the Ricardos, Constance Wu from Crazy Rich Asians, and child actor Winslow Fegley from 8-Bit Christmas. It's this week's news, however, that finally gives us a much better idea of what sort of movie Lyle Lyle Crocodile might be, as the lead role has been landed by Canadian pop singer Shawn Mendes. The film is now being described as a full-on movie musical, with Lyle himself being a computer-animated character. Lyle Lyle Crocodile is being directed by Will Speck and Josh Gordon, who previously co-directed Office Christmas Party, certified rotten at 41%. Doesn't sound good. And it will be Shawn Mendes' first role in a film produced and released by a major film studio, and is released later this year on November 18th, 2022. All right, so we have one for the kiddies coming out on near Thanksgiving. I have to admit, I am not familiar with Shawn Mendes, so I don't know if this casting is good or bad. But I'm certainly going to give him a fair shake. Yeah, I got to tell you, honestly, when it comes to children's movies, I'm not really familiar. I don't exactly have my pulse on what the Rugrats like these days. But yeah, all right. Lyle Lyle Crocodile. For some reason, someone decided it's going to be a movie. So, all right, let's see what everybody thinks in the chat. He's a pop singer. Yeah, but I wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup. So he's, I kind of stopped paying attention in the mid '90s, to be honest. So I'm a little behind on present day musicians. Neither would I. Yeah, we're in the same boat. We are in the same boat on that one, Sherry. All right, so we're going to move ahead to our next story. Yes, I heard about this. Liam Neeson to reboot the Naked Gun series. A surprising amount has been written about how Leslie Nielsen successfully adapted to comedy in films like Airplane, certified fresh at 97%, and The Naked Gun, certified fresh at 88%, by essentially playing it all straight. In setting out to reboot The Naked Gun, producer Seth MacFarlane apparently knew that the trick might be to find another actor not known for comedy in his new detective Frank Drebin. We know that because the actor in question revealed the project himself this week. Speaking to People, Liam Neeson revealed that he has started negotiations with producer and possibly director MacFarlane and Paramount Studios to revive The Naked Gun in what appears to be based on Neeson's phrasing, a new movie reboot, and not say a reboot of the TV show Police Squad, which originally spawned later films. Okay, so we got another reboot, but we have Seth MacFarlane as producer, possibly director. I'm going to assume writer. I got to tell you, Liam Neeson is Drebin. I don't see it, but who knows? They could surprise us. Liam Neeson is currently appearing in a film called Blacklight, and the reviews for that movie have not been kind. I saw the movie that he did before that, The Ice Road. I wasn't a fan, and I was honestly very worried that Liam Neeson could be going to Bruce Willis route. These straight to VOD action movies that tend not to be very good. And maybe that's why we're seeing this, this sudden left turn to comedy. Liam Neeson has worked with Seth MacFarlane before, in A Million Ways to Die in the West. And I'm trying to remember if Liam Neeson appeared in The Orville or not. Because I know there was talk at one time that he was going to appear in an episode, but I'm drawing a complete blank if they shot his episode or if that's going to be in season 3. All right, let's go and see what the chat thinks. The lovely Sherry. I'm so tired of reboots. Hollywood has to come up with solid original concepts. I agree. I'm also getting very tired of reboots and remakes and sequels because they tend not to be very good. They tend to... there's no oomph. They don't punch through like they need to. And they certainly don't with me. But I'll give Seth MacFarlane a chance. If he can come up with something, I'll give him a chance. All right, we're going to move on to our next story. The Smurfs announced 4 new movies, including a Smurfing musical. All right, one of the most surprising stories of 2021 came in August when it was revealed that Viacom and Paramount Plus had inked a deal worth almost $1 billion with South Park creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker to produce a total of 14 South Park movies for Paramount Plus, 2 of which by this point have already aired. That deal was a demonstration that Paramount is willing to make big deals for either establishing or cementing franchises both for its theatrical brand and its growing Paramount Plus streaming service. Another brand got a similar endorsement. Endorsement? It's an endorsement. Another brand got a similar endorsement from the studio this week, as Paramount Animation and Nickelodeon Animation are now actively developing at least 4 upcoming movies based on the popular Belgian characters, the Smurfs. Now, how many people remembered that the Smurfs were Belgian created? That's a good trivia question on trivia night. Get to stump everybody and you can win. There have been multiple Smurf movies in the past, but to date, the highest tomato meter any of them has scored is the 40% score of 2017's Smurfs: The Lost Village. The first film to be released under this new deal is expected to be a full animated movie musical to be released December 20th, 2024. And to be written by Pam Brady in her solo feature film debut after being a longtime collaborator with Parker and Stone on projects like South Park and Team America World Police. Certified fresh at 77%. And from the lovely Sherry, I need to remember that these new movies are for the younger generation. They may be terrible to me. Yeah, the Smurfs are definitely very much for children. I was quite young when the original animated series appeared on television. And I'll admit it. I saw the very first Smurfs animated movie. in theaters when I was very little. Okay, maybe not so little. Back in I think sometime in the very early to mid 80s. I don't remember exactly, and it was basically 80 minutes of the TV show. Okay, we looks like we're going to be seeing a lot more of the Smurfs. Smurf series 1981. Yeah, that was the series that ran on NBC, if I remember correctly, on Saturday mornings. Okay, so like I said, it looks like we're going to be seeing a lot more of the Smurfs in the next few years. Now, whether or not they're going to get the South Park treatment is anybody's guess. All right, the Smurfs might not just be for the kids for very long. We're going to move on to our next story. Zooey Deschanel joins Harold and the Purple Crayon. In addition to her prolific career as an actress in film and television, Zooey Deschanel also has a musical career as one half of the duo She and Him. Besides her role as Bridget in the Trolls movies, her film roles have not yet required her to do a whole lot of singing. It is not yet known if that will change with her latest role, though it's being produced concurrently with Lyle Lyle Crocodile, which we now know to be a musical. But Deschanel has signed on to join the cast of another Sony adaptation of the classic children's book, Harold and the Purple Crayon. Deschanel will play the title character's mom, joining a cast that already includes Zachary Levi from Shazam, Laurel Howery from Get Out. Harold and the Purple Crayon will be directed as a live-action adaptation by Carlos Saldana, who did Robots and Rio, and received an Academy Award nomination for the 2017 film Ferdinand, certified fresh at 72%. Okay, so I'm sensing a trend here towards family entertainment and musicals. I'm blanking on Harold and the Purple Crayon. I have the feeling I should know this. The title is familiar, but I'm not recalling the story. This is another movie that could be a good one for the kids. We have Zooey Deschanel, Zachary Levi, Laurel Howery. All three capable of being very funny. I could see the kids digging this. Yeah, if it's done well, yeah. Okay, so chat, help me out. Harold and the Purple Crayon. If you remember the plot at all, please clue me in, because I am drawing a blank. You know, if you want to talk about Simon and the Land of Chalk drawings, I can help you. But Harold and the Purple Crayon, probably something sort of similar to that, I'm guessing. Okay. The lovely Sherry has never heard of it. Oh, like I said, the title is familiar, but the plot, I'm drawing a blank. So I can't. Like I said, I can't help you there. But this, like I said, this looks like, judging by the cast, this could be a good one, especially for children. Sony's on a roll right now, so good luck to everyone involved with Harold and the Purple Crayon. We're going to move on to our next story. A Michael Jackson biopic is in the works. Yeah, I've been hearing about this too. Up above, we reported on the casting of Kingsley Benadir in the long-in-development Bob Marley biopic. Well, there's now a biopic about the life of Michael Jackson in development at Lionsgate, titled appropriately just Michael. Michael Jackson had a decades-long musical career that started in the early 1970s with his brothers in the Jackson 5 and led to worldwide success and fame. Michael is being produced in cooperation with the Michael Jackson estate, so it is expected that the film will focus on his musical career. The film is also being produced for Lionsgate by Graham King, who also produced the 2018 Freddie Mercury biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody. It's also worth knowing that director Taika Waititi had at one time been developing a movie for Netflix about the life of Michael Jackson's pet chimpanzee, Bubbles. But that film was eventually scrapped at some point before 2019. Okay, so we have another biopic of a musical icon. First Bob Marley, now Michael Jackson. Everything that Graham King touches tends to turn to gold, I've noticed. So, again, this is all going to be dependent on who they cast. So, chat, we've got a Michael Jackson biopic coming. Who would you like to see play Michael Jackson? Who do you think would be appropriate for the role? And will Taika Waititi direct this movie now that his other Michael Jackson project is not going to happen? Okay. Angelus Draven, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Sherry saying hello to Angelus. Also from Sherry, we don't need these biopics. It's all a cash grab. In this case, yeah. I'd have to say it's a cash grab. They would have to be very careful how they do it. But, you know, Michael Jackson had a legion of fans. That stuck by him through thick and thin. They might like this movie. The casting is going to be important. And right off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone who could play Michael Jackson. You know, they might have to go with an unknown on this one. Okay, back to the chat. Sherry saying hello to Angelus. And Angelus saying hello back. Yes, I want to thank everybody who's joining us in the chat, and those of you who may be lurking. Thank you very much for coming in and listening to me prattle on. Those of you who are joining us late and we're expecting Matt is now on this side of the pond. He is traveling to see his lady love, the wonderful Wonder Julie. The twin flames are now together, ladies and gentlemen. So, you have me as a surrogate host, and we're going to go on with the movie news. And that appears to be it. Okay. So that's it for our weekly catch-up. Thanks to Greg Dean Smits of Rotten Tomatoes. All right, so we've got a number of biopics coming. One about Bob Marley, another one about Michael Jackson. We've got musicals coming up, starring Shawn Mendes and Zooey Deschanel. We have Russell Crowe being cast alongside Aaron Taylor Johnson in a Craven the Hunter movie, and Liam Neeson appearing in possibly appearing in a Naked Gun reboot. All right. From Angelus Draven, and once again, thank you for joining us. I didn't mind the Bohemian Rhapsody biopic as well as the Elton John one. I didn't see Rocket Man. I understand it was very good. Bohemian Rhapsody, it was good. It could have been a little bit better, but I liked it. That last 20 minutes at Live Aid, that was very well done, I thought. All right. So that is the movie news for this week, and so, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of this week's stories? Is there anything that you're looking forward to? Anything that you're not looking forward to? The Oscar nominations were announced on Tuesday. Are there any movies that you thought got left out? Is there anything that you're rooting for Best Picture? I'm rooting for Dune. Other nominees included The Power of the Dog, that got the most nominations with 12. Spider-Man, which is a movie everybody went to go see and seems to have loved for the most part. Only got nominated for visual effects, but all right, we'll take it. It's a small victory. Angelus. The Motley Crue one was pretty good as well. I didn't see that one, but I heard it was pretty good. So yeah. Coffee on Korriban, thank you very much for joining us. We're fixing to wrap up the show, and we just had the weekly catch-up, and I've caught everybody up on Matt's travel itinerary. Like I said, all right, I would like to thank everyone who joined us this morning. Coffee on Korriban, the lovely Sherry, it's Courtney, Angelus Draven. To Brutal Morningwood also joined us. So I'm going to wrap things up for this week. Let me scroll through YouTube real quick and check and see who's live. I know Fat Steven Seagal is live, as well as Lorena Creole, Viva Frey. We also have Brandon the Anime Guy, who's a friend of the channel. His show is going to be he's going to have a new show at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For anyone who's been following my antics here on YouTube, I am going to be appearing tonight on Rambling Canucks channel for karaoke Saturday night. That'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S. And tomorrow at 4:30 p.m., I am going to be joining Jedi Bill 797 for this week's episode of Sunday Western Theater, and we are going to be watching Two Mules for Sister Sarah, the classic Clint Eastwood, Shirley MacLaine film. Morningwood. LOL, sorry, the baby got me doing a makeover. I'm kind of out of the loop with movies for anyone over the age of 3. Well, we have a Smurfs movie coming up, so that might be that's going to be a good one for the youngins. And Sherry says, sounds like fun, brutal Morningwood. Yes, Morningwood. It sounds like you got your hands full, man. Okay. I have a close friend who has a young child, and I've had to help corral him on several occasions. Little kids, you love them, but they tire you out. They tire you out very, very quickly. All right. So once again, I want to thank everyone in the chat, everyone who was lurking, everyone who was watching in the replay. I'm going to end the show now. We had a good hour. And, I want to leave everybody on a positive note. The last couple of years has been rough for everybody. We've had our ups and downs, but we've built a fellowship here that has stuck together through thick and thin. And sometimes we argue, and we don't always agree with each other, but we agree to disagree. And that's what I want everyone to remember, that just because you might disagree with someone doesn't mean that they can't be a friend. So, not to bring anybody too far down, because we like good vibes here. I lost a lot of my really close friends. Some of them are gone now. Some of them moved and lost touch. But I've found new friends here, like Sherry, like Courtney. Coffee on Korriban has been in our chats. I love you guys. And I just want everybody to know that. And I want to thank you all once again for being here for my solo show. Hey, I'll see you in the chats. I'll see you on other shows. I'm going to be back. I love you guys, and see you later.